Alright, Schlockmeisters fans, I don't know what to expect here. More shot on video stuff from Intervision. This one's called Things. Let's check it out.
I want you to have my baby. My wife and I tried to have a baby, but we could never get one. Now it's up to you. I pray for love.
He gets a baby from her, but turns out it's just a dream. We get our title screen a second time in this film.
Welcome to TV9 News. I'm Amber Lynn.
I'm Johnny Scott.
We're your hosts for today's broadcast. Following top news stories of the day, we will speak briefly with the leader of the Soviet Union concerning topics of the George Bush administration and the threat of nuclear war. In Manhattan, an oil
That is
slick
Amber
caused a
Lynn,
truck
porn star from the
to crash
80s,
into a
playing
hydro
herself
plant today.
as a reporter.
Mind if we have a few of his beer?
We can drink all we want.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. I'm his brother. I'm entitled to a few privileges, don't you think?
All right.
So these two guys, Don and Fred, I think are their names, are hanging out in a cabin.
Horror of 1,000 ugly, brutal cuts.
So they found a book and a tape recorder in the freezer.
He's talking about the people he killed before he died. Oh my god. Oh, the diagrams are so sick. How'd that movie start that you're always talking about? You know, that weird one?
I don't know exactly what's happening here. I really don't. But there's some sort of carnage.
Job well done.
They're watching a movie.
That other movie, I think that one with Bruce Lee, yeah, that was it. This company puts out the cheapest crap I've ever seen.
Tell me about it. And this is Susan?
Don! Fred! Come quick! Susan's sick!
I guess this is the dude's wife? She's giving birth to some sort of monster? Whatever it was, I believe it killed Susan.
George Romero, director of such hits as Dawn of
here's
the
Amber
Dead
again.
and Creepshow, is once again taking his copyright case to the Supreme Court of the United States. Pirates continue to distribute thousands of copies.
What's that got to do?
Let me finish.
She wanted a baby.
They both needed money. You were going to college. We were going to ask you for some, but you didn't all that you had. And we both still wanted the baby. Dr. Lucas found a way.
Okay. Why don't we do something about this? Call the police or something.
Can't do too much. Can't make it through those woods. The phone's out. Can't do nothing. Might get attacked by bears, rattlesnakes. This is a real creepy place, you know. What the fuck? Where's Fred?
I think he went into the third, fourth, and fifth dimension.
It looks like he got sucked into that mouse hole. I think I know what happened.
What?
God.
Fred? He's dead. I know he's dead.
Okay.
You wouldn't want any of those things nibbling on you when you get in there.
Why don't you go check it out then, you goofball?
You got him real good.
this scene is all about, I have no clue. It's a microcosm of the film. I'm better now.
They're like spiders in a haunted house. Oh no! What did I do? Oh, I hammered your head in. Are you alright?
Amazingly, he is alright.
I wish I had a midget for a brother. Oh, fucker. Oh, you're fucking heavy.
Lost part of his hand, so it's time to cauterize the wound.
Have to mend your hand together. This is gonna hurt me a lot more than it's gonna hurt you.
I doubt that.
I know it's gonna hurt. Just
After cauterizing his buddy's wound, he decides to throw him in a closet.
oh, you heavy puke. Oh. Oh. I'm gonna throw you in this closet so I don't eat you.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here, but there's a drill involved.
Who gave police a tip earlier on in the day has been deemed psychologically insane by the staff at St. Mary's Hospital
Notice
in New
she's
York.
reading off the cue
There is
cards.
still a chance that after being declared missing for 14 days, Don Drake and Fred Lewis may still be alive.
They woke up again, the bastards! Don, I'm still alive! They haven't got me yet! Don, help me! I'm still alive! Now I'm really pissed off! You shithead!
At the present
The doctor shows up.
Fucking bastard, huh? Susan's dead, everybody's dead, all because of you.
Who, me?
Yeah, you. There's hundreds of creatures around this goddamn hellhole. All because of you. Do you want to see some blood?
All I see is this goddamn chainsaw and a golf club at the door.
I'm telling you, the creatures were here. They were here. You gotta believe me, you gotta believe me. We even killed a bunch of them.
Ah, you're a real loony too.
Locks the doctor in this room.
Creatures with those swords following me.
So he leaves the house and runs out looking for help.
I'm saved. Fuck.
What the hell happened to you?
There's creatures and everybody's dead and there is a doctor.
You need a doctor. Everything will be alright.
We are reaching the end.
You're alive, we're all gonna get you. We gonna wait a long, long time.
I'll be okay. 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 I'll be okay.
What an experience. Alright, let's talk about this movie called Things. Warning, horror and brutal violence in full color. Oh boy, shot on video, 1989 I think was the year on this thing. I never saw this movie in a video store. The people over at, I think it's Severn who does this Intervision label, put this out recently. They put out a bunch of other shot on video stuff, which I've actually reviewed a few recently as well. This one is an incoherent mess, if you ask me. I don't know what the hell was going on in this movie. This is what the back of the box says here. 1989 became the first Canadian shot on Super 8 gore shocker commercially released on VHS today. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, adult film star Amber Lynn and co-writer producer Barry Gillis star in this surreal saga about the two friends who visit a remote cabin only to discover a womb of monstrous horror that demands graphic dismemberment. That's what it says. Now, the description on IMDb says this guy is desperate to have a baby and they're having problems, him and his wife. So this doctor goes in and does something to the wife, and that causes her to, like, give birth to monsters or something like that. And that seems to follow what the plot was about, too, in this movie. It was very hard to find. But all was going on, there's these guys in this cabin somewhere, and these little creatures. It kind of reminded me of the little creatures in Return of the Alien, or the Deadly Spawn. However, in the Deadly Spawn, those creatures moved around. They were really cool. In this one, they just kind of stayed put. There was some blood and gore going on. There was a naked woman at the beginning of this movie. Other than that, I don't know what the hell was happening in this movie. There was just, it was a mess. I don't know. There is plenty of gore in this movie, although it's just weird gore, and it just, I don't know, it just wasn't fun to me. And the weirdest thing also was Amber Lynn, porn star. She has several scenes in this movie where they're kind of just interspersed throughout the film, and she's pretending to be, or she's a reporter reading the news. And some of it is related to, like, real-world events. She mentions the Bush administration at one point, George H.W. And then she also mentions about these two guys that are stuck in this cabin who are presumed missing. I don't know. Her scenes were shot later and just in front of a television, and they were just spliced in later on. It really has nothing to do with the rest of the film. However, obviously they used her to market this thing because she was a pretty famous porn star at the time. Oh boy, I don't know. Interestingly, there's a lot of extras on here, and some of the extras there was like a reunion of the gang. They got back together to talk about the making of this film. I watched a little bit of it. Some of that was incoherent too. It's like some of them were still, they were like acting during this. I don't know. They did mention, however, that the woman, there was a nude woman at the beginning of this movie in the dream sequence. She was apparently a real prostitute. They needed somebody to do a nude scene, so they hired a prostitute. She refused to show her face on screen, though. That's why she had a devil mask on. They tried to track her down, apparently, for this DVD, and they couldn't. So I don't even know if that's a real name they used, but whatever, right? It's called Things. I'll leave a link down below. I don't understand this movie. It's just, like I said, it's a mess. I don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe you can get it, and maybe you can explain it to me. I don't know. So check it out. Leave some comments down below. Let me know what you think about it. It's called Things. Watch it. Bye.